Welcome to the lecture Configure Logging for the ShopMe admin application. In this video, I will help you understand the logging architecture used in Spring Boot and how to configure some logging basics for the ShopMe admin application, such as enable debug and chase mode, how to configure logging level, how to configure rolling file logging, and how to write some logging in the project's code. Firstly, let's understand the logging architecture used in Spring Boot. Spring Boot uses Java Common Logging for its internal API, and for the public APIs, it uses symbol logging facade for Java or SLF for J, so we can block any logging framework implementation such as Java UT logging, Log4j2, and Logback. And by default, Spring Boot uses Logback as the default logging implementation. And we can configure logging in the Spring Boot application properties file or in the properties file that is specific to each logging implementation, such as logging.properties for Java UT logging, log4j.xml for log4j2, logback.xml for logback. And in this video, I will show you how to configure some logging basics in the Spring Boot application properties file. Alright, come back to the project and let me start the ShopMe backend application so we can see the logging information printed in the console view. Okay, the application is starting. As you can see here, various logging information printed in the console view. And let me explain the format of a logging line. So the first thing is a timestamp that shows the current year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and milliseconds. And the next column is the logging level. That can be info for information, warn for warning, error, debug, chase, and by default, Spring Boot we print only the logging messages that are in the level info, warn, and error. And the next column, you can see a number here, which is the process ID. Is the ID of the process that runs the Java virtual machine, and 3 dash is that's the separator, and the thread name. Since we are using Spring Boot app tools, it prints the thread name is restarted main here, and then the logger name, which is usually a fully qualified name of a class, and if the name is too long, the top level package are abbreviated, as you can see here, o.s.bw here. And lastly, the actual logging message, as you can see here. So we need to scroll horizontally to see the full logging message here. So that's basically the logging format used by default. Now I will show you how to enable debug mode for logging. As you can see, by default, Spring Boot prints only the logging information, that is information, warning, and error. If you want to see more information for debugging purpose, you need to enable debug mode for logging. So open the application properties file, and you need to configure enable debugging mode by typing this property debug equal true. That is very simple, and save the change, and it will restart. Okay, the application is restarting in debugging mode, and you can see much more information printed in the console view here, you see. So you can examine the logging for debugging purpose. Here you can see if you want to see useful information that helps you debug the application, you need to enable debugging mode. So you can see various in-depth information in the console view here, but it will also slow down the application. Okay, let me clear the console here and access the ShopMe admin application in Chrome browser. And you can see in the console view, it prints the information with the logging levels information and debug here. And you can see for the debugging purpose, you can see the information for the HTTP GET request to the CSS file here. Perfect for debugging purpose. So that's how to enable debugging. If you want to disable, you just set debug equal false here and save the change. And similarly, you can enable chase mode if you wish to. So just specify the property chase equal true here in the application properties file. Save the change and the application will start in chase mode. In chase mode, it will bring huge information, much more information than the debug mode. So it is recommended to use chase mode if you really need it, because it will slow down the application greatly. Huge information will be printed in the console view in chase mode. Okay, that's for demo purpose. Now stop the application. Next, I'm going to show you how to set a specific logging level for the application. So in the application properties file, we just specify the property logging dot level here, and for all the classes in the application, you specify the root log level, and then the log level name, which is one of the values in the suggested list here. Debug error info chase 1. Here I want to just print the logging for the level 1 warning here. So only warning messages will be printed in the console. Okay, save the change and start the application. And this time you will see fewer logging information printed in the console because the log level is 1, which is higher than the default level, which is info. And you can see the application is started, but we see only one line of logging in the console here. That is for warning message here, because the currently logging level is 1 here. And if you want to set log level for a specific package, you can specify the package like this: logging dot level, and then the fully qualified name of the package. For example, I want to set the logging level for the package com.shopme. Com.shopme is debug here. So I specify this property logging.level, and then the package name, and then the log level. I use debug here. Okay, save the change, and the application will restart. And this time you see more information printed in the console view with the information and debug information for the package starting with com.shopme here. You see, because we set the log level is debug for the logging message come from the package com.shopme, and for other packages such as in Spring Boot itself, it shows only the warning message, as you can see here. Now I'm going to show you how to configure Spring Boot to print the logging information to a text file in the file system. So in the application properties, we need to specify this property, which is logging dot file dot name here, and specify the file name of the logging file will be created. So here I specify the file name is shopee backend.log, and start the application. Before that, let me open the project directory. Here, shopee backend. Here you see under the project directory shopee backend here, and you will see the log files will be created here. Okay, and start the application. So basically, in production mode, we will use log file in conjunction with the logging information printed in the console view like this. Okay, you see in the console it prints logging information normally. And now open the project directory, and you can see a new text file created. That is the log file we specify in the properties file shopee backend here. You can open this text file in the text editor to see its content. Open with TextPad here, and you can see in this log file it has the same content as the information printed in the console view. You see here, same information. It is recommended to configure rolling log file for better performance. Let me show you how, and then I will explain later. So we need to specify the property which is logging dot logback dot rolling policy and file name pattern here to specify the file name pattern for the rolling log files. So we're starting with this name shop me backend, and then dash, and then %d, and then the timestamp for the log file, 4 numbers of year, 2 numbers of month, and 2 numbers of day, and then %i is the number of the log file, and then dot log, and then the next property we need to specify is for the maximum file size of a logging file, logback.max file size. Here, this is the maximum size of a log file. If the file is larger than this maximum number, then a new log file will be created. So here we specify the maximum size of a log file is just 100 kilobytes. And then the next property we need to specify for rolling log file policy is total size cap here, which is the total size of all log files that are kept in the file system. So here we specify the total size cap is just 1 megabyte here. And the next property is max history here. To specify the maximum number of days that the log files are kept. The default value is 7. Here we specify the max number of days is 14 days. So the log files that are older than 14 days will be deleted. And the last property we need to specify is the property clean history on start here. So the application we check the log files at startup and clean the log files that are older than the max history here, and to keep the total size less than the value specified here, 1 megabyte here. So here we specify clean history on start equal true. That's it, and save the changes. Okay, so far so good. For testing purpose, I will change the current date and time to the next day, so we will see a new log file will be created. As of now, we will see we have only one log file created here. Now I change the date and time to the next day. Okay, change the time to the next day here. Change and restart the application, and you will see a new log file created. Okay, restart. So the rolling log file policy meaning that new log file will be created for the next day, and new log files will be created when max file size reach for the current log file. Okay, the application has restarted, and let's see its directory, and you can see the second log file got created with the timestamp here, and you can see the number 0 at the end here, indicating that the first number of rolling log file. Okay, and then I change the current date and time to the next day. Change to the next day. Okay, and restart the application once more time here, and this time we will see a new file will be created. Okay, here we go. You see Now we got new file here, show me backend here, and you can see the last number is still 0, meaning that it is the first file of the day. If the files are in the same day, the number will be different. Okay, and I change the date back to this, to today. Today here, change. Okay, and stop the application. And next, I will show you how to write Java code for a print logging information. So open the file upload ut class, and you see in this class we have two system.out.println statements in case an exception occur, an error occur here. So it's better to use logging instead of printing into the raw console like this. So at the top of the file, we declare a logger instance here, private static finder logger, and we should use the logger from the package org.slf for j here, and then the constant name logger, and then logger factory. Again, you should import the logger factory from slf for j here, and get logger, and then the logger name or class name. Okay, file upload ut.class, and then in the code you can use this logger to write login information. For example, here when this IO exception occur, I print a logger error here. I use the error level here, and the log message here, could not delete file here, and comment this line. And similarly for the last exception here, sorry, copy the logger.error and the message here. Okay, and comment the system.out.println statement. Okay, and let's test the application for this logger. Okay, start the application. Okay, it is up and running, and let's access in Chrome browser. Here I will log in as an admin user. Okay, I am in, and let me create a new user here, a test user, test1 at gmail.com, test1, test user, password, and role assistant, and choose photos, picture, my portrait here, and click save, and a new user got created here. And let's see what is printed in the console view. And you can see we got an error logging message here, and you can see the logger name, which is the file upload ut class here, and you can see the message printed is could not list directory here, because it was trying to clean the directory user photos, and then the ID of the new user 24, but this directory does not exist before, so it throws an IO exception. So the code prints the error message, and as we are using a logger, it prints the logging message in the logging like this, and also in the log file. You can check in the project directory here. Open the last log file here, sorry, is the Shopee backend should be the current file. Okay, is the latest, the currently active logging file is a file without the timestamp, and the files with the timestamp are the old ones. Okay, and here in the current log file you see the error here, file upload could not list directory here. So that's basically how to use code for writing logging information. Declare a logger like this, and then use the method provided by the logger, info, error, warning here, debug here, you see. And note that we should not use the file login in development mode because we don't need it, and we should use the file login in production only for auditing purpose. So in the application properties file, we comment out the properties for the logging file here. Okay, save the changes. So far you have learned how to use some logging basics in a Spring Boot application, the Shopee admin application. For more information about logging with Spring Boot, please watch videos on my YouTube channel and read tutorials on my Java blog. And you can also find the reference links in the resources section of this lecture.